Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 2, Book 26, number 772. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet offered 4 rakat of Zuhr prayer at Medina, and 2 rakat of Asr prayer at Dhul Hulayfa, and spent the night there, and when the day dawned, he mounted his mount and started saying, "None has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and glorified be Allah." When he reached Al-Baidah, he recited Talbiyah for both Hajj and Umrah. And when he arrived at Mecca, he ordered them, his companions, to finish their ihram. The Prophet slaughtered 7 budan, camel, with his own hands while the camels were standing. He also sacrificed 2 horned rams, black and white in color, at Medina. Volume 2, Book 26, number 773. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet, P.B. U.H., offered 4 rakat of Zuhr prayer at Medina and 2 rakat of Asr prayer at Dhul Hulayfa. Narrated Ayub. A man said, Anas said, then he, the Prophet, passed the night there till dawn, and then he offered the morning, Fajr, prayer, and mounted his mount, and when it arrived at Al-Baidah, he assumed ihram for both Umrah and Hajj. Volume 2, Book 26, number 774. Narrated by Ali. The Prophet sent me to supervise the slaughtering of budan, hadi camels, and ordered me to distribute their meat, and then he ordered me to distribute their covering sheets and skins. All added. The Prophet ordered me to supervise the slaughtering of the budan, and not to give anything of their bodies to the butcher as wages for slaughtering. Volume 2, Book 26, number 775. Narrated by Ali. The Prophet ordered me to supervise the slaughtering of budan, hadi camel, and to distribute their meat, skins and covering sheets in charity, and not to give anything of their bodies to the butcher as wages for slaughtering. Volume 2, Book 26, number 776. Narrated by Ali. The Prophet offered 100 budan as hadi and ordered me to distribute their meat in charity, and I did so. Then he ordered me to distribute their covering sheets in charity, and I did so. Then he ordered me to distribute their skins in charity, and I did so. Volume 2, Book 26, number 777. Narrated by Ibn Jurayj. Ata said, I heard Jabir bin Abdullah saying, we never ate the meat of the budan for more than 3 days of Mina. Later, the Prophet gave us permission by saying, eat and take meat with you. So we ate some, and took some with us. I asked Ata, did Jabir say that they went on eating the meat till they reached Medina? Ata replied, no. Volume 2, Book 26, number 778. Narrated by Amra. I heard Aisha saying, we set out from Medina along with Allah's Apostle 5 days before the end of Dhul Qa'dah with the intention of performing Hajj only. When we approached Mecca, Allah's Apostle ordered those who had no hadi along with them to finish the Ram after performing Tawaf of the Kaaba, Safa and Marwa. Aisha added, beef was brought to us on the day of Nahr, and I said, what is this? Somebody said, the Prophet has slaughtered cows on behalf of his wives. Volume 2, Book 26, number 779. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet was asked about a person who had his head shaved before slaughtering his hadi, or other similar ceremonies of Hajj. He replied, there is no harm, there is no harm. Volume 2, Book 26, number 780. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. A man said to the Prophet, I performed the Tawaf al-Afada before the Rami, throwing pebbles at the Jamra. The Prophet replied, "There is no harm." The man said, "I had my head shaved before slaughtering." The Prophet replied, "There is no harm." He said, "I have slaughtered the Hadi before the Rami." The Prophet replied, "There is no harm." Volume 2, Book 26, number 781. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet was asked by a man who said, "I have done the Rami in the evening." The Prophet replied, "There is no harm in it." Another man asked, "I had my head shaved before the slaughtering." The Prophet replied, "There is no harm in it." Volume 2, Book 26, number 782. Narrated by Abu Musa. I came upon Allah's Apostle when he was at Al-Bathha. He asked me, "Have you intended to perform the Hajj?" I replied in the affirmative. He asked, "For what have you assumed Al-Ihram?" I replied, "I have assumed Ihram with the same intention as that of the Prophet." The Prophet said, "You have done well. Go and perform tawaf round the Kaaba and between Safa and Marwa." Then I went to one of the women of Bani K and she took out lice from my head. Later, I assumed the Ihram for Hajj. So, I used to give this verdict to the people till the Caliphate of Umar. When I told him about it, he said, "If we follow, the Holy Book, then it orders us to complete Hajj and Umrah, Hajj at Tamatu. And if we follow the tradition of Allah's Apostle, then Allah's Apostle did not finish his Ihram till the Hadi had reached its destination, had been slaughtered. I.e. Hajj al-Qiran. See Hadith number 630. Volume 2, Book 26, number 783. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Hafsa said, "O Allah's Apostle, what is wrong with the people? They finished their Ihram after performing Umrah, but you have not finished it after your Umrah." He replied, "I matted my hair and have garlanded my Hadi. So, I cannot finish my Ihram till I slaughter my Hadi." Volume 2, Book 26, number 784. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Allah's Apostle, P.B. U.H. got his head shaved after performing his Hajj. Volume 2, Book 26, number 785. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's Apostle said, "O Allah, be merciful to those who have their head shaved." The people said, "O Allah's Apostle, and invoke Allah for those who get their hair cut short." The Prophet said, "O Allah, be merciful to those who have their head shaved." The people said, "O Allah's Apostle, and those who get their hair cut short." The Prophet said, the third time, "And to those who get their hair cut short." Nafi said that the Prophet had said once or twice, "O Allah, be merciful to those who get their head shaved." And on the fourth time he added, "And to those who have their hair cut short." Volume 2, Book 26, number 786. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, "O Allah, forgive those who get their heads shaved." The people asked, "Also those who get their hair cut short?" The Prophet said, "O Allah, forgive those who have their heads shaved." The people said, "Also those who get their hair cut short." The Prophet, invoke Allah for those who have their heads shaved, and at the third time said, "Also, forgive those who get their hair cut short."